Today, I'm going to show you how I jam. Consider this a sequel to yesterday's video, Creating a Jam Part 1. Freebeat. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shoutout goes to Lee Crampton. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So yesterday's video was called Creating a Jam Part 1, and basically what I did is I busted out the Electron model cycles here, and then just set up a jam, a pretty basic jam, but I walked through my normal process of making a jam without talking, so you could see it from start to finish. And if you didn't watch yesterday's video, which not many people did, probably because I wasn't just talking about gear, I was actually using it, which those videos never do as well as the ones talking about gear, but that's a whole different thing. I will link it in the description so you can go and watch it. Today, what I'm going to do is actually break down the main technique that I used in that video to come up with the hi-hat part as well as the bass line. So, how I started off was basically by putting a kick drum on all my downbeats. So beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. Just like that. Then I went in, grabbed a snare drum, put that on beats 2 and 4. And there was the basis of the jam. Of course, that's one of the most simple ways to get started. It's very effective. Drums are a great place to start. And a 4 on the floor kick with a 2 and 4 snare drum is like the most simple pattern, and it gets your head bopping. So that's a great way to start. The next thing I did was something that I like to call two-finger shifting, which get your mind out of the gutter, band kids. Basically involves setting up an instrument that you want to find new rhythms for, so in this case our hi-hat, and then go ahead and put it 4 on the floor. So I've got 4 hi-hats, each on our downbeats here. Super basic. Then comes the rule of two-finger shifting. So what that means is basically you take 2 fingers, you select a step that has a note on it, so in this case our downbeats, and then you put a finger one after or one before it. So you've got 1 finger on an already sequenced note and 1 on an empty step. And then you push. And what that does is it shifts that note 1 step over. So let's do it for all 4 of our hi-hats. Alrighty, the feel of our little pattern is completely different. Let's do it again. And one more time. Actually, let's keep the sequencer running. That almost feels swung, even though there's no swing on the pattern. So that's the extreme basics of the two-finger shift process. I use this all the time on my sequencers for coming up with drum patterns that I then want to learn how to play on the real drum set. We can also get more complex with it. So what if we add in another set of hi-hats on the downbeats again, but leave in the ones that were already there? Now we have a whole new group of hi-hats to work with. Let's, instead of shifting them forward, let's use the two-finger shift technique to go backward on some of these here. So we'll go here, 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 and here. Completely different, right? Let's try some more. For a general rule of thumb, you kind of want to keep it so you're always turning 1 step off and 1 step on. Otherwise, you can get some pretty cluttered sounding patterns. There we go. Nice. Sometimes you can wind up with groups of 3 and sometimes even 4. So if that is the case, feel free to take one out if you're feeling like it's getting too busy. But I actually kind of like this. I kind of like this pattern here. Maybe I'll take this one out. And of course, you can do this for any of the instruments in your jam. I feel the hi-hat is maybe the most digestible, especially if you're kind of new to this sort of thinking when looking at rhythm. Okay, so we've got a hi-hat pattern that we like. Now, let's come up with a bass line. So just like I did in yesterday's video, I created the bass line based entirely on the hi-hat pattern. I copied it exactly. So if we look here, we can see the E and the and of beat 1, 1E and, the E and the and are both highlighted, so let's go to a new track here. I'm going to fill those in on that track, go back to the hi-hat. Then we have the E and the and of beat 2 here. Those are also filled in. Then we have the E, the and the of beat 3. So jump over to our melodic track, plug those in there. And then we have the E and the and of beat 4. There we go. Let's hit play and have a listen. That bass line is mirroring the hi-hat pattern perfectly. I'm going to drop it down 2 octaves. And now I'm just going to fill in some random notes in whatever key I want. I'm going to keep it to C minor in this case. So let's go, actually right here, we'll go A sharp or B flat. Then we'll leave this one as a C. This one is going to be a D. This one will stay as a C. This one will go D sharp or E flat. This one will become a D. This one will become an F. This one will become D sharp. And this one will become an A sharp. Whoop, other way. There we go. Let's have a listen. That's pretty cool. What if we take it up an octave? And go to a new track. Let's change that to a tone. And this time I'm just going to have this play a C. Except I'm going to drop it down 2 octaves. Opened up the gate, so this will sustain for hopefully the entire duration of the pattern. Let's have a listen. There we go. Just like that, we're off and running. We can now go back to our little line, our melodic line, and make some adjustments to our parameters. Obviously, the levels of each individual track there need to be adjusted more because we've almost lost our hi-hat. But that little bit of noise that's actually here on this track almost makes up for it. And remember, this track here, the melodic line, is actually mirroring that hi-hat. So maybe we haven't lost too much of that feel after all. Then if you're on a device like the Model Cycles here that has a chance or probability function, we can actually set that to the melody, to the melodic line. I don't know, how about 46% for some fun variation. Yeah, we can go back to that bass line, go into an LFO or something like that, and give that a little bit of movement. Let's go to the shape knob here. We'll pick a sine wave. Ooh, kind of a quarter note triplet feel there on the bass line. Super cool. Yeah, That's nice. So there you go. That is one of my favorite ways to get started with a jam, using the 2-finger shift method for hi-hats, and sometimes I'll do it with even snare drums or like an auxiliary percussion sound. It's just a great way of spontaneously coming up with rhythmic ideas, new rhythmic ideas, but step by step. So you're not changing too much, and it's very easy to go back as long as you remember where on your sequencer your 2 fingers were placed. Also, if you do happen to have a 4x4 sequencer grid, like an MPC or like a pocket operator, like I have here, you can still use this method. Just remember that depending on the order and the direction of which your sequencer plays, the next step is going to be on the row below. So on a pocket operator, the next step after 4 would be 5, which is down here like this. And if you're on an MPC, which for some reason plays backwards, this would be number 4 and this would be number 5. So you'd want to shift them like that. Of course, like always, if you have any questions, please leave them in a comment down below. Let me know how you like to jam. I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.